continue this when we get on the bus back on the way home.
All right.
Don't record my face.
All right. Where's the creation?
Creation. There was once a sun, and then other stuff started appearing, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then trees. I don't know how that happened, but then the Cambrian explosion happened. All the crustaceans and fish came about and started, raping each other. Other birds started forming for some
unknown reason.
Okay.
Dumb reason. and then two females met. And then they had some good times, Netflix and chill. And then she was like, "Yo, I'm really hungry. I want to eat from this tree." But then there's a penis snake. He comes down and he's like, "Yo, you can't eat this food. It's bad."
No, he's the one who says that you should eat it, but okay.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's a persistent. God damn it.
It's okay.
And then he's like, hey, yo, do you want to eat this fruit? It's really good. And then they run off without any complications because the snake is like, "Yo, what's up, B?"
Look at his side glance,
And then the snake is just like,
And the snake is like, "Yo, I'm over here now. Goodbye." And then
This is
Noah
the story of Noah.
Then he's looking at a map. There's that weird rabbit dog thing in the corner. And then he's trying to get up an elephant's rear end. He's just like, "Oh, yeah, you like that elephant." And then, for some reason, a boat formed. There was water, and then he gets off because the water just clears. God forbid that would ever happen.
right.
And then there were a bunch of animals and cats and rabbits, even though there probably weren't cats back in the day.
And the rabbit's just eating a flower casually.
They're just eating flowers. He's like, "Hey, yo, praise God, praise Allah." Okay, go. Then the story of good old Joseph. He's talking to his son. He's like, "Son, you're gonna grow up one day and you're gonna be a man." He puts on a coat and he's like, "Hey, look, I'm a man now."
I'm a man.
And then they look down a well. For some reason, that's just what happens. They're all looking down. He's like, "Hey, yo, help me, man. I was doing bad things, man." And then I appear in jail. I don't even know what I did.
I'm just gonna sit here and smile.
I'm smiling too. I'm also smiling because I'm a sadistic fuck. He goes to the fair. He's like, "Yo, I need 2 doobies and 5 bags of crack."
No.
Then he goes and tells his friends. He's like, yo, he's dealing drugs." So they're like, "Really, the Pharaoh?" And then there's a girl who's like, "Yo, I don't want this stupid baby anymore, so I'm gonna put him down a river." Then Moses is like, "Oh no, this magical burning bush! Oh my God!" And then the Pharaoh's like, "Oh man, I want sex." And then they go and chase down the fairest maiden in the land. And then he's like, "Oh yes, I created path in water. I am the Almighty." And then the fish is like, "Hey yo, put the water back." And then he stands up on a rock. He's like, "I have 2 stones, each with 5 commandments." The story of person.
That's David.
Who's that?
David.
And he's sitting on a tree. He's like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do today?" And then a guy comes in. He's like, "You're gonna get raped 5 days." To take it. And then he's like, "I'm a real boy." He kills this giant man for with the armor, and then he takes it off. And he's like, "I'm a real boy." So the real boy, you're fat. He kills the giant. He's like, "Yeah, I did it. All right." Story of Daniel. He's like looking down at his people, like, "Look at these swine. They are swine." He's praying to God and having some fun times. And then these 3 guys come in. They're like, "Yo, what's he doing? We should get this. We should totally spy on this man." So they go into his room, and while he's praying, they spy on him. And then there's that lamp is burning. Okay, go. And then he slips, and all the animals try to eat him. But then he befriends the animals, and they're like, "Hey, why are you befriending those animals?" And then those borderline psychopaths of lion, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna eat this man. We're gonna eat him."
The story of Jonah.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, it's another rough storm. I don't know how these keep happening. So he falls down and gets eaten by a whale.
Wow.
He prays in the whale's hole. He's like, "Yo, spit me out now." There's crabs and whatever the heck that is, and then he gets spat out like my semen on a Monday. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. I know you're married. I know you're married, Mary. I know you're married, but I want to have intercourse with you, and then you're gonna God's son. So without Joseph knowing, they're riding down to Bethlehem to give birth to this magical baby. A page later, the baby magically appears. And then the animals are like, oh, that baby looks delicious. The cat is just like, who's a baby? And then the cat's like, oh, now I want that piece of ass. They look up at the sky and they're like, oh my God, it's snowing. What are we gonna do? So then the 3 wise men poop out camels. And they're like, yo, we need to get to Jesus now. So all the angels are like, oh yeah, Jesus is born. And then Jesus is like, oh yeah, look at this honey.
Jesus' ministry.
And then he falls in love with a man named John the Baptist. Jesus comes out of the water. He's like, John, have I ever told you about the glory of God? Turn page. And then
Jesus feeds thousands.
men come into the picture. They're like, only one woman. There's only one woman. Oh wait, there's 2 actually.
Yeah.
There's 2.
Maybe 3.
2 counting that one.
Oh, okay.
3 counting that one in the middle. They're like, hey yo, I got food. And then he randomly starts pulling baskets out of his ass.
Oh no,
He breaks the bread from his butthole. It magically appears more baskets. Baskets upon baskets keep spawning in
Where did they come from?
his butt.
Okay.
And then they're all like, oh no, we're trapped. And then Jesus is like, yo, B, I can walk on water. Why'd you come over here? And then he's like, why didn't you not trust me, son? And then he's like, I don't know, Jesus. This is weird to walk on water, you know? And then they're all like, hey, Jesus can walk on water. We're home safe, yeah.
And then
Jesus
is crucified and he is risen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to propose that I am now pregnant. Everyone is shocked at the sight. He is taken by the guards. He's like, no, please. It is possible for a male to get pregnant, I tell you. Shade.
what the heck?
There he stands on the cross. Everyone is crying. Then an angel comes down. He's like, hey, yo, he's actually not dead. He's just
Incapacitated.
like Spider-Man. He's not dead. It's just a disappearance. He comes down and he's all electrified. He's like, I am Electro from Spider-Man. And then they're all like, no way, man. You're not Jesus. You're just a phone. So he's like, okay, goodbye. That is the end of the beginner's Bible. Hope you enjoyed my documentary. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a pleasant time for my narration. Go and read the actual thing because that is actually garbage.